We have a hologram of Earth Spacedock. We have an assignment officer. Which explains about mission difficulties, because you can set missions to be easy, medium or hard difficulty. And it talks a little bit about player versus player. Over here we have a fleet ambassador, which is where you can set up a new fleet if you want to. And we have a gorgeous view of Earth below us, and some dry docks. Now, who else have we got down here? We have a security officer. Which you can turn in tribbles that you capture. Or, if you have any prisoners, you can turn them in there. There's a meeting room. And we have bridge officer trainer. By going to the store. This is where you can buy bridge officer manuals for your bridge officers. So if you want, say, beam fire at will, level 1, to be on your, let's open up your, you have your stations here. If I wanted Tarsi to have beam fire at will instead of torpedoes high yield, I would buy a manual in here, which would then enable you to see it down here, and then you click on it and it would enable it on your ship. So, which allows you to, once you've bought the manual, to easily switch between the abilities that you want your bridge officers to have. In this case it's a tactical, so you'd only be able to use it on a tactical bridge officer. But if you wanted engineering team 2 or jam sensors to put on your science or engineering, you can buy them and they'll appear in the list here. You also have intelligence manuals, command manuals, pilot manuals, temporal operative manuals, and miracle worker manuals. But I believe you can only apply these manuals if your bridge officer has the specialisation and your ship has the seating for those various skills. Right, what's the next one? We have requisition officers. This is where you can buy more bridge officers. We go into the store. If you want extra bridge officers, you can buy them here, and they come in all sorts of different species: human, Vulcan, and if you hover over them, it will bring out a little slide out which will tell you what space and ground abilities they have. They tend to just be basic bridge officers when you buy them like this. If you have tokens, you can buy purple bridge officers from the Zen store. Catlin, Ina, by the looks of it. And I think what you do is you go into the Zen store, you find personnel, and then you can buy the bridge officer in here, which will then give you a token to spend here. There are special officers that you can get, like a android, generic android of engineering, science and tactical. And again, if you have a reassignment form, you can pick up those. And I believe that comes from the duty officer assignments when you get to level 4. But all of none of these are particularly good. You can pick up better ones from missions as you go through. As a commander. And he's just an information person. That's back down there. Can't talk to any of these. Let's go back upstairs. Over here, you can claim fireworks if you've bought the lifetime subscription. You can claim a combat environmental suit, again I believe if you got the lifetime subscription, or you can talk. And he has nothing to say, so okay. But that's where you get the environmental suit and fireworks. We have our temporal agent.
Greetings, how can I assist you today? Or in the future?
If you have other characters on your account and you've played through, for instance, a Jemadar and any of the other special assignments, you can reclaim rewards from Philip Cray. You need to be plus level 10 Jemadar and level 65 with 20 hours played, which seems a bit high, but when you get to level 65 you can reclaim other rewards.
Use the temporal transponder in your inventory to access temporal agent rewards.
Right, okay, well, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's just have a look. We have an ambassador. Right, so he'll offer special diplomatic assignments once you reach the status of attaché. So it's just and he gives you some more information. Let's in commendations. So as you play through, you get commendation points. As you can see, we have none at the moment, and you need 2,500 to reach the next rank. And on the right here it tells you if the rank 1 we get attaché, which is what he just asked for. So when you get rank 1, it should unlock diplomatic star cluster missions and give you a single green quality duty officer. So we have to unlock duty officers because I don't think we've got that far yet. That would yeah. Oh, I only need to be another level to access duty officers, but that would be that. Then we've got, which one is that? Romulan Ambassador. And that will start the new Romulus arc. Well, we don't want to do that at the moment because we're not that far along the episodes in the series. Right, so we can't access it until we reach Vice Admiral. And Captain? Right, and possibly at a later date he'll hand out new missions. And then we've got Admiral Quinn. And he hands out several missions as well, which we'll pick up.
Welcome to Earth Spacedock.
Right, so that's Quinn. So let's go round the other side. Air security officers. Right, if we start on the left hand side, right in the middle here we have the seal. And when there are events that include Q, you'll find Q sat in the middle of this seal that gives you the missions to pick up and turn in. So let's go in requisitions. And the first office we have the uniform supply. And this is where you change your uniforms. You can set up your normal uniform like I'm wearing now. You can pick other era or Bajoran outfits or the Sierra outfits. You can also set up your summer outfit for Riser and winter outfits for the winter event. We've got a nice waterfall effect. I think this might actually be the backside of water. So that was the back way round to personal equipment. And in here we can requisition personal equipment like weapons, armor, shields. The best ones tend to be as you pick up as you go around rather than requisitioning them, but you can, if there, you can pick up kits, purchase consumables like your shield charge and your hyper sprays. And you can buy tech upgrades. which would allow you at a later date to upgrade weapons on your ship. There's some people in uniform. What's this? Lieutenant Shelby. Right, and Shelby will tell you all about the upgrades. Okay. See if we can get a closer look. Some of the weapons that you can obtain in the game. Hand phasers, rifles, sniper rifles. Okay. Let me go that way. So, commodity traders is the next one. And that will let you pick up some supplies that you need for missions. A lot of these, again, you get by pickups or missions. But if you need some, there are some here. When you advance high enough to join a fleet, and join a fleet that's started finishing all their programs, you will be able to buy those commodities cheaper from the fleet, because a lot of those are also required for what are they called? I can't think what they're called, but they kind of run little missions in your fleet, which you add commodities and dilithium and fleet credits and officers to, and then it'll run for like 24 hours and then give you a little reward towards upgrading your fleet base. So you can buy some there, or buy some on your fleet starbase. And that's another information on, gives information about various clusters in the galactic map. Okay. And around here, there's another bank around here, and another mail station. And it gives you a glimpse out into the shuttle bay. And there we are, back out the front of the requisitions. But down here, to the right of requisitions, next to exchange, is a corridor down to the shuttle bay, which is where we transported in. And we can now run down here and have a look around the... I don't believe you used to be able to do this, but you can now come down, have a look at the runabouts and the shuttles. And here's a guy doing some repairs on the shuttle. And there's some worker bees. Let's have a run round here. You can see the shuttle's taken off, but you can't get any further into the shuttle bay than this. Ooh. There we go, and the shuttles can go further into the starbase. So let's go jump over here and go back up. And go back through the corridor. And we have the exchange. Let's see if there's any, but there's a bank access this side. Another mail terminal. Another mail terminal. Another view into the shuttle bay. And this is the exchange. And in here you can buy items from other players in the game who have put up an item to sell at a certain price, and then you can search. You can put in a name if you like, or as I just did, click search, and that'll bring up all 400. A view of 400 items. There's usually a lot more than that, but it'll only show 400 items. You can select whether to show items that only you can use, which will stop you from buying items that you can't use, because there's nothing more infuriating than spending 1,000,000 credits on something that you can't use. There are ship's equipment in there, and at this point that we are in our playthrough, you can't buy any items that are above your rank. So I'm only rank 10, so I couldn't buy a Mark 12 deflector array because I'm not at that rank yet. When you get to rank 65, then pretty much all the items are unlocked, so you'll be able to buy them. We're not going to buy any now, so it doesn't matter, but you can't buy above your rank. And there are all sorts of things. You can buy duty officers, which will help you with the duty officer assignment. There are kit modules, which you can buy for yourself. If I click on my character, we've got kit modules. So you can buy kit modules. If you wanted a sonic pulse, you could buy that and equip it to your character. Or you could wait for the rewards that you get from missions that you go on. I tend to just pick them up from the missions until I get to level 65. I tend to pick them up from the missions and equip them as I get better versions. And again, you won't be able to pick up anything that's higher than your rank. And these tend to only be like standard common kit modules. Sorry, what am I talking about? You won't be able to buy above your rank, but you can buy items that are missed it there. Like there's a green one there for an uncommon kit module. But you can buy up to ultra rare. Also, you can choose a rank to look for. So we're Lieutenant Commander, so we could search for items that are only available to Lieutenant Commanders, which would save showing stuff that you can't buy. You can also choose the quality up to epic, and you can change the sort order up here. Right, and around, and this is all the exchange in here. Right, before I go the other side, or down to the ship requisition, because we got to go to the shipyard, which is just down here. So there's no point us going there just yet. And we have lots of windows at the front here, so we can see the interior of the space dock and what ships are docked at the moment, and the odd shuttle shooting across. But let's see if we can go upstairs, because I want to show you a secret, kind of secret. So we've gone upstairs to the mezzanine, and if we go along to the middle, we can have another great shot at the internal of the space dock. There's the space doors for the ships. And if we go this side, we can look down on space dock operations and the requisitions that we've just been to. And that's the transporter pad that you usually beam into. But the secret, kind of secret, is here. The list of people that of the Star Trek universe that have passed away. And a bit of information about them. Or quotes from them by the looks of it. Okay. So you can come and pay your respects to these great people. Right, let's wander on. Well, oh. I went too far. Right. There we go. We go. I'll just quickly show you this. But red and blue decks is just a corridor. I don't believe there's actually anything actually in them. That's just. No. Just an empty corridor. Let's go back up to the main concourse. Here we go. And this one's taking us up this side. So let's transporter pad is up there, and the shipyard is over there. So let's go and have a look at the infirmary. Looks like somebody's had a bad night in the club. Some bio beds. Somebody else has had a bad night at the club. Let's go and speak to the doctor. Here he is. Treat officers. Right. Now, he's one of the places that if you're on a higher difficulty level, medium or high, then you can get injuries on your away team and your captain, yourself, and you can come here and treat those injuries. It's good practice that once you finish the mission is to get yourself healed up and your ship, because your ship will take extra damage when you're at the higher difficulty levels. So make sure that you heal your ship and yourself, because it is detrimental to your firing rate. If you got injuries on your captain, it'll make them slower and won't be as good. So you need to keep healing yourself up. If you're on easy, you don't get injuries on your ship or you, so you don't need to worry so much about it. But it's no good going into an advanced or elite. Can I show? That's elite. Yeah, task force operations are another one where you can do player versus enemy. So you get you and 4 other players in Star Trek Online, and you join one of these missions. If it's a normal mission, you won't get any injuries, but if you pick a advanced or an elite, then you will get injuries, and you will need to heal those injuries before you do another one. So let's go in the club. Third over here, look up. There's a cool waterfall. So let's go up the stairs. Welcome to Club 47. Oh. Right. Let's go left. Or actually, let's speak to the bartender. Bartenders throughout the game allow you to buy foodstuffs. And you can combine some of these food and drink items with tribbles. And they will give you they will improve your tribble to give special abilities. And there are too many tribbles for me to name at the moment, but there are like a temporal tribble that you can mix food with or feed to, which will give you some temporal ability. for a short duration. Here's the dance floor. And while we're on the dance floor, we bring up the chat window and go to the little setting icon here. You will see you've got emotes. And if you click on the pin, that'll pin them. And what you can do when you're on the ground is dance. And you can pick lots of different dancing moves, and in some places you can unlock extra dance moves. I think you can unlock some in the summer event, and you can unlock them on certain planets, like the fan dance. You could unlock on one of the planets. Let me have a look. No. On Nimbus. You could unlock that on Nimbus when you get to that planet. Right. Let's go up to DJ. Can we talk to the DJ? No, can't talk to the DJ. So let's go back out this way. There's another bartender. Not Guinan, unfortunately. So let's go up this way. See if there's anybody we can talk to. No. A seating area that you can come and have another look at Earth. Right, what's the other side? Let's have a look. Group of drinkers. Oh, another mail terminal. Another bank terminal. Okay. So there's quite a few around of those terminals. There's the replicators. Let's see what's further up. Another view of the waterfall. And that top level brings us back to the transporter pad. Let's unpin the dance moves because we don't want those anymore, and minimise that out of the way. You can talk to the transporter chief, who will tell you about the different stations that we've just been around to. So if we run back down here in front of operations and head down this way, we will be at the shipyard. There we go. So let's talk to the ensigns for a second. I can provide information on shuttles and other small craft. Also, if you happen to lose your captain's yacht or commander's jig, let me know. How do I get a captain's yacht? speak to any starship or shuttle requisitions officer to claim your captain's yacht. Okay, thank you very much. Right, let's have a look. We've got another bank here on that side, and another mail terminal on that side. And if we start down the front, I think, because there's two people down here. We have repair ship. So like with the captain's injuries, you can repair your ship injuries here. My ship has no damage, but if it did have damage, you could repair it. And like I said before, when you do the advanced or elite missions, you will get damage. So you need to come here and repair it.
When you're ready to return to your ship, click the Beam to Ship button in the upper left corner of your mini-map.
Where can I change my ship or get a new ship equipment?
You can find various ship services here in the Ship Requisition Center. You can requisition ship equipment, change your ship's appearance, or switch to a different ship there.
Okay. What he's talking about is this icon up here that looks a bit like a up and down transporter. That will beam you directly back to your ship. Right, so let's start this side. Requisition ship equipment. Probably self-explanatory, but here we can get weapons, ship equipment, shuttle weapons and equipment, purchase consumables and tech upgrades. Again, most of that we will get from missions, but you can buy some there if you need something. Manage ships. This gives you a list of all the ships that you own. Currently we just have a shuttle and one ship, but it would show you more ships if you had them. It's possible to move equipment in and out of different ships from here, which if you say I had two ships and I wanted to quickly move equipment from one to the other, I can just click between them and move them probably via the inventory in and out. Because sometimes you'll get a new ship and you'll want to transfer all the equipment that you've got, or some of the equipment that you've got, on one to the other, and this is an easy way to do that. And sometimes you get things that you've used but you don't want to use anymore, but you think, I don't want to store it in my inventory because it's taking up inventory space. If you've got a ship that's got default weapons and equipment on it, you can get rid of the defaults and kind of use it as an item storage, just in case you need it again. You can buy more slots. Currently, I've got 15 dry dock slots, which I'll talk about in a second, and 10 active ship slots. So I can buy more slots if I need to. You also, if you run out of room, you can dry dock your ship in a slot. I believe that it will lose all its weapons and equipment if you dry dock a ship. So you need to make sure that you take all of these items, if you want to keep them, off, put them in the inventory or in another ship like I said before, and then dry dock it, and then that'll package it up. And if you decide you want to play that ship again at a later date, you can then unpackage it again and put your equipment back on it. So that's probably all I can say for that. Then we've got ship requisitions. Congratulations on your promotion, Lieutenant Commander. Admiral Quinn has cleared you to select a ship to command. There are several impressive vessels to choose from, take a look at my store. The starships that are approved for your rank are listed there. Browse starships that are approved for your rank. Okay. Okay, so using the little up and down arrow to hide the filters, you can filter by category. You can filter by ships that you've purchased or not purchased. So let's take that off for now. You can choose your rank. So if you're a captain, you can choose to see ships for captains, vice admirals, fleet ships, all ranks. You can put in a name if you like, if you're searching for a specific type of ship. So let's see, what can we buy? We can't buy that because we don't have enough dilithium. We could buy this one, the Constitution refit, because we have the Lieutenant Commander token that has been given to us. We could also buy an escort because we got the token for it. So we got a science vessel, the Nova class, which we got token for. And we can't buy that one because we need dilithium and we haven't got enough for that. Okay, so when you click on a ship to look at it, it gives you a description of the ship. It gives you some skills for the ship. It tells you what bridge officer stations you've got or can use for that ship. You've got one tactical station, 2 engineering stations and 1 science station. It shows you how many consoles of which type that you can use. So 2 engineering consoles, 1 tactical and 1 science console. And it tells you what its base power is. So 4 weapons 2, aft weapons 2, base hull, shield modifier, base turn, and device slots. So if I can open that as well and select the ship I've currently got, you'll see that this ship has got 3 slots, 1 for engineering, 1 for science, 1 for tactical, whereas this one has got 2 engineering, 1 tactical and 1 science. Bridge officer stations, if I click on stations, that will mean that we have 1 tactical, we'll have 2 engineering, and we'll have the 1 science. So if we look at the science vessel, because it's more of a science type of ship, we'll have 1 tactical, 1 engineering and 2 science. So we have tactical, engineering and 2 science. And for the consoles, we would have 1 engineering, 1 tactical and 2 science. So do we want one that's got more engineering? Or do we want one that's more science? And I think I'm going to go for the Nova class rather than the Enterprise, because a lot of people go for the Enterprise. Let's go with the Nova. So we decided we want that one. Buy ship. Are you sure you want to buy the science vessel? Okay. By default it gives you a name, which you can rename if you like, but I'll leave that as it is. Done. And because we haven't got any more tokens, we can't buy the ship. So we'll close down that, and you'll notice that we still have our old ship. So let's just have a quick look at the customized ship. Customized ship will allow you to change colours, materials. I've only got one type on there. The type of interior that you want. Now, of course, these are all interiors for quite a lot of the ships. So the bridge that you select won't necessarily fit inside your ship, so you have to suspend believability a little bit. There's like the Defiance bridge. You can also buy extra bridges if you like the design of a certain bridge. Some ships do come with their own bridge, like this one comes with a Pioneer bridge as default. And like the Enterprise F comes with its own bridge. The Defiant, I think, comes with its own bridge, and a few other ships come with their own bridges. But if you don't like them, you can come here and select another one. Some are free, some you have to spend Zen on. But we'll leave that as it is. And we'll cancel that. You can also customize shuttles in the same way if you buy a shuttle. This one's got a couple of different materials, so let's see if it will change them. No, okay, it won't change them on there. Perhaps it's because it's a standard one, but most of the shuttles you can change the colour, the material type, interiors, windows, and things like that. And depending on the shuttle, depends on how many options you get in there. We're limited with these ones. So we need to go back to manage ships, and we need to get our inventory, and we need to take off all of these. Right, like that. Now we need to select our new ship and ready starship. I'll just do save and continue on that. That's a new thing I haven't seen before. Right. Each ship will come with a default set of items and weapons, and unfortunately, although things like the phasers are what would be used on that ship, they're not particularly good. So most of the time you won't use any of these. And there's little point upgrading them from this level because they're just standard equipment. So like there's a level 2 phaser, 142, whereas what we had before is 172 damage. So why would you keep the default set? So let's engine. Oh, of course. And look, we can have 2 AF weapons on this one. 3 devices. Well, we've only got 2 at the moment. We've got the one engineering console, and we've got the one 2 science consoles, and 1 tactical. Let's see, what's that? That's a deflector array. Have I got a deflector? No, I haven't got any other consoles or anything like that. So, but what we could do, what's that one? 327. We could stick another torpedo on the back, so that when we have our back to an enemy, we can fire the phaser beam and a torpedo, at least until we get something a bit better. Right. And the little Enterprise icon there means that the ship's ready. So if I clicked on that one and clicked ready, that would move down to that one. So we know that we've got this new ship ready. We haven't got another shuttlecraft, but that's okay. Right. So we've had a look at the bank. We've had a look at the shipyard. So that was the two of the aims for today. So now we need to go and speak to Admiral Quinn again. So let's go to Admiral Quinn. There he is.